Here's another full day in the life of a Catholic Irish amateur boxer. I started off the day with my core and plyometric workouts while still on an empty stomach, before serving up a small bowl of porridge oats for breakfast, which I topped with cinnamon and cinnamon turmeric honey. I then finished the remainder of my morning exercises and stretching before getting some barefoot grounding in the sun and doing some shadow boxing. I then made myself some healthy homemade cinnamon buns made of Greek yogurt and my free protein pancake mix from last week's race, which ended up being a bit too moist to roll up but turned out nice nonetheless. I also made myself a cup of tea and loaded up the laptop in time for class. When class was over, I went for a little walk in the sun and then came back to make my sweet potato skillet, as well as a chicken, egg and mozzarella sandwich which I'll eat after training tonight. I put together my skillet with a layer of mashed sweet potatoes, cheese, beef mince, more cheese, and then top it with your eggs. One of my personal top recommendations for a tasty and healthy meal. I then went back on the computer to do a little more business benchmarking and research, followed by a little reading in the sunlight, followed up by a cheeky little chai and my daily apple as I watched some sparring clips. I then left for the gym a little earlier than usual as I had to do some major grocery shopping, and more importantly it was only right to give the Mexicans a visit on Cinco de Mayo, where they celebrated with free churros for every order, and I grabbed myself a chicken burrito and a lovely cup of cinnamon horchata, which is a must try. I also stumbled across this tempting sign in my travels which may have planted a seed, and I then got to the gym good and early to warm up with some skipping before training. I ate my date before the session as usual, and finished off afterwards with some dumbbell weighted shadow boxing, before heading off and grabbing a few little bits in the shop on the way home, and eating my pre-made sandwich from earlier, as well as a handful of fruit and nuts on the bus journey home, and then stretching before I hop into bed as usual to finish off every day.